Hey there, crafty friends. It's Melissa. Welcome back to my channel. So as you guys know, Friday, My Creative Time launched their 141st, I can't speak, 141st edition release. And in this release, there are some new rolled flowers. And so these are the small, medium, and large rolled flowers. And they are sold separately in case you don't want all the different sizes. So I'm going to show you guys, or give you guys a couple little tips if you're, struggling with rolled flowers or whatever. And you guys, if you have better tips, please share them with me. I'm by no means an expert in this stuff. I just share with you what works for me. So I'm going to give you a few tips that I think sort of helps bring these together. Now this is the medium size, which is the one we're going to be making today. So if that helps. And this is how it comes out. Now a couple of the things I will say to you is rolling these flowers is a lot easier if you're using a regular weight cardstock versus a super heavy cardstock. You can do them with a heavy cardstock, it's just harder to shape them. So I tend to grab my little pads. I have all these different pads that have multicolors or like monochromatic colors and things like that I've picked up from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. Anyway, and I think I've gotten a few of them from Joann's, and they have just regular weight, really pretty colored cardstocks. So what I've done today is I've cut a couple of these because I'm going to show you guys how I think it helps to do these. Now, if you'll notice on this die, it is made so that you don't have any wasted space in there, but I find that when I go to roll my dies, I like to have sort of a guide, an edge guide for me. So what I did to make this easier for me, and you don't have to do this, but this just helped me. I am cutting this a little bit. So I'm starting where this little divot is, if you can see it right there. And I'm cutting and I'm just connecting the little points underneath it. Can you see the little points where the petals underneath it are? I'm cutting those off. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I roll them, I have a little bit more finished edge. Not that you're going to see that. It just makes it help. It's easier for me to roll them, if that makes sense. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. So again, I just go around. I cut that piece off. And I go on up to the middle. So what you're left with is this, and you're going to see that, there's a little bit, not a whole lot, but there's a little bit of cardstock that I have cut off, okay? So the next thing I do, and I don't always do this, but sometimes it does help, is I will take one of my bigger stylists. I have probably 6 or 7 different sizes of these, and I will just go over some of the petals just to help. I know this is going to look kind of crazy, you guys, but it gives them a little bit of shape before you even roll them. You don't have to do this. I don't notice a huge difference, but it does help them roll a little bit. So that's what I do. And then, you're ended up with kind of a wonky thing. Now, I have a tool, which is a quilling tool that I like to use to start mine. And so what I do is, you'll notice this little quilling tool has a space in it. So I just stick that on there, and then I roll. And just roll. And see, again, this is why I'm saying I like to have that clean edge, because it just helps me roll. I don't have those weird pieces in there. And then I usually roll with the whole thing, but anyway, you can roll with your fingers when you get to a certain point. It's easy. If you don't have a quilling tool, you can use a pair of tweezers to get started, however you want to do it. But it's easy to roll, and you just roll with your fingers or roll with your quilling tool until you get to a point. Sorry, guys. I've been having a lot of problems with my wrist, so that tool really helps. I wish it hadn't slipped off, but we're going to do another one, and hopefully it won't slip off again. So keep rolling, keep rolling. It's going to seem awkward until you've done it a few times, and then you're going to be like, okay, this is not so bad. And so this is what you're going to end up with. You're going to get all the way to the end, and that's what I do. Then I set it down and I let it unfurl just a little, not a whole lot, because I don't want my flowers to be too loose. Then you're going to take, and this really, I would recommend hot glue for this. And I take a big dollop. Sorry, my hot glue gun's been on a while, so my glue looks yellow. And I just wrap that over, and you smush it down. And hold it until you think that the glue has caught. Now, on some of my flowers, I did go in and open up the center a little bit. And again, I used one of these tools to do that. You can do that. You can open up the center if you want to put like a little bead or something down in there. But see, there's your little flower. Now, if you want to come in and you want to shape, you can shape some more. If you want to bend all of these out or just let them be natural, however you want to do it. And there is your little flower. Super simple, not hard to do. So let's do one more. Again, I start at the end here. I am starting in that little divot and just connecting the peaks of the petal underneath. I guess I could have showed you, if you didn't do this, sort of what the bottom looks like when you roll it, but like I said, I just know that this helped me. You end up with that little tiny bit cut off, and then you have a flower like this. I'm not going to do the stylus, and I'll show you that it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. So starting at the end, you guys pardon me, I can't see very well, and then just roll, 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 roll. And it just kind of naturally guides itself, so my stylus is trying to come out again. You might want to grab a little bit more on the end when you start this so that your stylus doesn't do that. Okay, I'm going to stop at that point and just finish finger rolling it. Go ahead and roll, 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 roll. Till you get to the end, set it down. And like I said, I kind of smushed that bottom over it. That's just me. Let it unfurl just a little. Come in with our hot glue. Put a big dollop there. I want it to catch all the center layers if possible. That's why I put such a big dollop of glue in there, so that the glue can seep down and catch most of those inner rolls. And then hold it. Bring it up. And then, like I said, if you don't use your stylus, you can still just shape these with your fingers. Shape them until you're happy with them. This would be very beautiful, I think, with textured paper. And see, there's your little flower, ready to go. So I think that is a, I think it's a helpful tip. I hope you guys think it's a helpful tip. But I've been making, I have a little stash going of all my different flowers. So I've got a little bin here, I'm putting them in. Oh, and I wanted to mention too, if you guys picked up that tiny plate, look, I ran the plate through with just a few different color cardstocks, and oh my gosh, look at all the little flowers I have ready to go. I think this is amazing. I love that new die. It's going to make your life so much easier when you just want to grab and add a little accent with a flower. So super cute. Anyway, that is my tip for the rolled flowers. I've got another tutorial coming up, just showing you guys how to do a basic easel card. So I will be back with that in a minute. I will list these rolled flowers below. If you have any questions, please let me know. I think this is pretty straightforward, but I'm glad to help in any way. So, and if you guys have a better way of doing it, let me know, because like I said, I don't think there's any, I'm not going to ever tell anybody there is some specific way you have to do anything, or that they're doing something wrong in their crafty room. I believe that we all have our own processes and everything that's more comfortable for us and makes us happier. And a lot of times I'll come across a video where somebody's done something that, you know, I was doing, but they did it different and it made it so much easier. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I never think of that? So anyway, by all means, you do you. They're your craft supplies. You use them however you want to. I just thought I would help out a little bit if you're struggling. Anyway, you guys, until the next crafty video, happy crafting.